Before we start with the video, go in the description bar and check out the link for G2A to get cheap games and codes. What up guys, I'm back with another video and we're here to go ahead and learn how to install and replace the power supply unit for a normal desktop. Before you do it, make sure if you already bought your power supply and you know it works and know it fits, then okay. If you don't know what you're buying, make sure it matches the form factor and everything, and most of them are exactly the same size. Most of them basically are, so I don't think you really need to worry about it, but make sure you do your research before buying the power supply unit. So to replace it, unplug everything, wait for 30 seconds for it to get rid of all the electricity, and make sure you're wearing an anti-static wrist strap, as you can see. So make sure you're wearing one, and make sure you have the tools to perform. We are using a 3.0 Phillips screwdriver. This one's detachable. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and make sure everything's disconnected from the board. Make sure all the cords are disconnected. Go ahead and unscrew. Start to unscrew everything. Make sure you put all the screws at a safe spot where you won't lose them, because you're going to need them. Most people don't have backup screws, but I have tons of them, so I'm not exactly worried about losing any of them. Go ahead and keep on unscrewing them. Alright, so once you get to the last screw, you might want to actually do this with one hand and hold the power supply so that it doesn't fall off, because it will, and some power supplies are pretty heavy. So after that, grab the screw, and well, surprisingly it didn't fall off. Just try to pull it out, just like that. Usually there's a lock in the back, which there is, like back over here. There's a little latch you push back before you pulling it out, but I didn't push it because, well, I didn't see the point. But here's the old power supply, and we're going to go ahead and replace it with a new one. So I don't really need an anti-static wrist strap because I have a ground piece of metal in the ground, and that's basically how I get rid of the static electricity out of my arm. So here's the new one. This one's 425 watts. So it says, where does it say? Actually, this goes up to 500. I didn't know that. Yeah, this one goes up to 500. So this is actually better than what I thought. I actually bought this from a garage sale from somebody, so this actually worked out pretty well. I thought it was actually 225, but so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and push it in. As you know, this is actually smaller than what it's supposed to be, because as you know, some of them are longer, some of them are bigger, but this one's actually smaller than my last one, but it will still work because all the cords meet the requirements, or it just still fits anyway, so, and all the screws go in correctly. But as you can see, I'm not actually using the screwdriver to screw everything in. I'm actually just using my hand to do it, so that I can at least get most of them in, just enough so that I don't have to hold the power supply unit anymore. Alright, so now I can just go ahead and do this. And then do this, screw in all the screws. As you know, all my screws are like universal for most power supplies. They use basically the same thing. So as you can see, it's in there pretty good. So now all you have to do is plug in all these cords into the motherboard and into everything else. So make sure you plug in everything. So if you don't, so for me, I would have to plug in this one right here. I don't exactly remember what it does, since I sadly haven't been in class in over a month, so I have no idea what each one is, or I just can't remember. So here's the motherboard power supply. Put that in. Here's my several Molex, and E-SATA and SATA. I don't think I actually use any of these ones. I think I just use Molex now. My IDE is still plugged in, so I don't have to worry about that. Molex, it's my DVD drive. Hopefully, my hard drive uses a Molex. If not, I have to use something else. Can't exactly see. No, it doesn't use a Molex. It uses one of these. So, plug it in. Right? Doesn't feel like it. But that should be about it. All these cords, really, like, this is really bad cord management, guys. So this computer is actually meant for desktop purposes for like people who work in offices, because this thing doesn't even run that fast. But it's good, just good like it is right now. This is horrible cord management, and I'm betting that some guys are really ranting out about it being horrible, but I can't really do anything about it. Really, I can't, but this is about it for the tutorial. This is how you replace the power supply unit from your desktop, and we'll be back on another video. This is TopTechGuides, and I'll see you guys on the next one.